My name is Jim Augustine. I am a physician, an MD, and I serve as medical director for North Collier Fire Rescue. We're here today talking about an issue really relevant to everybody in our public, which is due to hurricane damage to a factory in North Carolina that produces much of the IV fluid that we use in emergency care. We now have emergency systems, emergency departments, hospitals, and other healthcare facilities that don't have IV fluids, and those IV fluids cannot be produced until this factory is repaired in a badly damaged area of North Carolina. The plant was knocked out in September during Hurricane Helene and the massive damage that occurred in the Carolinas. That plant produced about 60% of the IV fluids that are used in America, including many of those used in hospitals, in emergency departments, and in EMS systems. How does that impact you? Well, right now we have a shortage of those fluids within the healthcare system, and we are trying to ration all of the parts of IV fluid administration that we can to make sure that until that plant is back online, producing and distributing IV fluids, that we have enough to give to emergency patients who need those fluids. Those fluids are just the basic normal saline, so saltwater solutions that we use for everything in the healthcare system. And it's the big bags, and we use many of those in surgery and for the care of specialized patients, including trauma and burn patients, patients in the operating rooms, patients delivering babies, and all of the other elements of intravenous fluid administration. When you are receiving care in the emergency system, or if you're scheduled to go to the operating room in a hospital, they may talk to you about the administration of those fluids, or frankly, you may hear the crew members of fire and EMS systems, the nurses and physicians in the emergency department and in other places talking about the use of the fluids into a vein in you. That may result in you getting less fluid than you would have gotten had this shortage not have been an issue. In the emergency care system, we may elect just to put a little catheter in your vein and not give you any fluids. If you have one of the diseases where you lose a lot of fluids, and let's use a simple cruise ship virus, the norovirus as an example, where you've been vomiting and had diarrhea for some period of time, we will try to treat you with other medicines and then let you replenish your fluids by mouth rather than putting an IV in and giving you fluids that way. So that's how it may impact you now. Into the future, what we're looking to do is, for now, ration the fluids that are available to make sure that we have enough to get us through, let's say, January or February, when this plant is scheduled to be back online and the distribution of the fluids that it creates are restored across the country, when EMS systems, emergency departments, hospitals, ambulatory surgery centers have their inventories restocked, and we're able to go back to the practice that we usually did, which is starting a bag of IV fluid, giving it at the appropriate rate, and then disposing of it when you don't need the rest of that fluid. So we have a history of having to deal with these kind of problems in the past. They have occurred with prior hurricanes. Right now, though, we don't have production of that fluid. This influences the care in every care site in this country. It cannot be restored immediately by production in other countries because that fluid can't be shipped and quality assured and safely delivered fast enough. Instead, we are waiting for this plant to be brought back online, which the federal government is assisting that company in getting it back online. We will be holding fluids so that patients who get sick at the end of December into January don't have a shortage of fluids that would dramatically impact their care. So if you will, we're kind of rationing the supply that we have moving out, and we're looking forward to this being done in January and February. And at that point, building a resilient system that won't be affected the same way by future storms or other disasters. So as we deal with challenges of shortages of medicines, fluids, and other things in the healthcare system occasionally, this is another one. We are in business to make sure that we take great care of people in every opportunity that we can, and we try to substitute other safe ways of delivering care. That's our responsibility to you. Thanks for listening today.